What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. In this video, I'm going to go over several different things about what is going on here in our economy, also what the Fed is going to do with interest rates, and could they provide financial relief for millions of Americans like other countries are doing. Also, I want to announce the winners of our giveaway contest here, as we just did here. And we have a new giveaway contest here coming up here shortly as well. We'll talk about that here in our video here. So if you're new to our channel, make sure to click the subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on new videos. Click the bell icon after subscribing. And also thanks for liking and sharing these videos. Let's jump right in. So let's start with White House economic advisor Brian Deese on what he says the economic status of our country is. You can let me know your thoughts on this.
Brian, great to see you again. Happy holidays.
Likewise. It's great to be here.
It's been a mixed bag for data, I guess. People watched leading economic indicators today, existing homes yesterday. But what do you make of that final look at the third quarter and all of the folks who said at the time that they thought we were in recession?
Well, usually the final revisions to GDP don't actually tell you all that much. In this context, what we saw was a reinforcement of the resilience story, that the growth in the third quarter was solid, and importantly, that we saw a little bit more of that was driven by the consumer and private final demand, which is valuable and important in this context. Look, I think it fits into the context of what we've seen over the course of the last month in terms of data, ongoing resilience in the labor market, some cooling. We're certainly seeing that as we would anticipate, but resilience in the labor market, resilience for the American consumer, and at the same time, some promising signs of inflation easing as well. We've seen that in multiple parts of the economy. And so that's when we look at this, we look back several months ago to the president, and he articulated a view of this is what we needed to see, this transition from a very historically strong recovery to a transition to growth that is more steady and stable. But to do that transition without giving up all the economic gains that we've made, I think the data that we've seen over the course of the last month, as well as the GDP revision that we got today, are consistent with that transition playing out here.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up inflation, because if we keep doing 1/10 CPI month on month for the next, say, 5 months, year on year, you'll be looking at a number somewhere in the 3.5, 3 range by the beginning of summer. Will there be a point at which the White House will say, in effect, to the Fed, you did your job, and if they haven't paused by then, argue that it will be time to?
Well, look, we have a ways to go, and the president has underscored that, and certainly we don't want to take anything for granted. But at the same time, the last couple of months of inflation, I think, have shown some important signals. On goods, we're seeing clearly things have turned around. On housing, as you were just discussing, if you look at real-time indicators of housing, the housing market, both on housing prices and rents, I think we have seen we're seeing moderation, and we know that that will feed into the data going forward. And we've seen some moderation on the services side as well. Of course, in the headline, a lot of what's happening is the decline in gas prices, but we know how salient that is for typical drivers, particularly in the holiday season. Price at the pump down almost $2 a gallon. That's about $200 in increased discretionary income for a typical 2-car family. And so we're seeing that feed through into the process as well. All of it leads up to, people have paid less attention to this, but over the course of the last 5 months, we've seen real wage growth. And for non-supervisory earners, we've seen real wage growth over that period that has been pretty healthy. And that is helping to sustain consumers through this cycle as well.
So let me know your thoughts here. I feel like a lot of people don't feel like inflation is getting any better. We're seeing the inflation numbers come down a little bit. Remember, the Social Security increase is 8.7%, and the last month's inflation reading was 7.1%. So we're seeing the inflation numbers come down. Gas prices have definitely come down. So we're seeing a lot of states in the $2-ish range on gas. So gas prices have definitely come down. That's one tangible item we can see. In fact, the White House actually recently had, I'll show it to you here. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts on this. Stimulus update. Here's why the average household could have an extra $200 a month, according to President Biden. Yeah, so I seen this and I was like, are they talking about the $200 a month Social Security raise? This was my initial thought when I seen this, right? And well, it's different because look at this. President Biden had some good news when he sent out a tweet about 10 days ago, December 19th. He sent out a series of tweets during the holiday season detailing what his administration had accomplished for average Americans. And one of those tweets directly related to a big change that could mean an extra $200 in the typical household budget. Here's what it is. You could end up with some extra cash in your bank account. President Biden's December 19th tweet explained exactly why he believes the typical American will have more money in their bank account this year. His tweet said, quote, right now, families with 2 cars driving home for the holidays are saving $200 a month on gas compared to mid-June's peak, the tweet explained. So, yeah, you guys can let me know your thoughts on this. Of course, I have some mixed feelings on that. But yeah, it is nice to see gas prices come down. So it looks like it's probably a savings of about $100 per month per car, according to Joe Biden's math. You guys, I don't know. You guys can do the math if that's right. $25 a week, according to the peak in June. But that's when gas was at $5 a gallon of the high. Now it's in the $2 range. You can see here, national average gas prices. Gas prices actually went up here over the last day. Show you why. National average gas prices went up 3 cents in the last day. Remember, a plus or drop of 3 cents in a single day is like the largest gain or drop ever when you see plus or minus 3 cents. I'll show you what happened here. And it is kind of concerning. So just to remember, it doesn't sound like a lot, but 3 cents a day would be 90 cents a month if the trend continues. A month ago was $3.54. So to go from $3.54 to $3.10 in a month was a significant drop. But remember here that the high for regular was 501 back in June. And there's a lot of states that are in the $2 range, $2.50. I think I've seen some people saying that their gas was at $2.25. So really, really good here. Diesel has dropped from $5.21 a month ago to $4.67. But here's why gas is maybe starting to go up and the price of oil. Yeah, this is because Russian President Vladimir Putin, doing it again here. Russian President Vladimir Putin bans Russian oil exports to countries that have implemented a price cap of $60 a barrel. But here's the interesting thing about this is that they have been selling their oil for $60 a barrel or less anyways, because there's only a limited amount of countries that will buy their oil, countries like China and India and, some Middle Eastern countries. So they've had to sell it at a discount anyways. So Russia announced this here today that they're not going to sell their oil to any countries that have gone along with this price cap ban. But the countries, so this is kind of the tug of war, literally while war is going on, in that Western finance or Western countries, like Europe is kind of considered part of this, and the United States and basically the G7 and NATO are basically saying that if you want to be part of Western financing, if you want to be able to get financing through countries like us, you have to go along with what our oil policy is, and that you won't buy Russian oil for more than $60 a barrel, so that you're not contributing to the Russian oil regime and the Russian war machine that is basically invading Ukraine, what they consider an innocent country, and shooting missiles and rockets at innocent civilians, basically rockets being shot at homes on a daily basis. These rockets and missiles being shot at homes and civilian targets pretty much almost every day. So, well, Russia says, well, any country that goes along with this, we're just not going to sell you the oil. So, what's the first thing that happened? Oil prices spiked up. Disregard this red here. This is literally what just happened in like the last hour or the last 11 minutes. This is always a little bit misleading because it's just what's happened here in the last minute or last few minutes. But you can see here, oil back in the 80s, 82.50 actually for Brent crude. That's significantly higher than we've seen here recently. WTI crude actually nearing the 80s as well, basically at 78. So it's part of the reason why we've seen gas prices actually kind of spike back up here. Remember, 3-cent spike overnight is the highest pretty much spike you'll see in one day. I don't think we've ever seen a 4-cent spike in one day. Remember, 4-cent spike per day would be $1.20 rise in 30 days, just to kind of give you an idea of what that would mean. So, also, I want to say natural gas has seen a significant decline. Look at this, down 12.5%. Remember, natural gas kind of has a different curve than normal oil. All right, I want to show you this chart here for natural gas. I know it might be a little bit difficult because I'm in the corner here, but natural gas is very important, very, very important, because number one, a lot of people use it to heat their homes in the winter. So again, very important here on that. And number two, natural gas is a significant reason why your electricity bill has gone up, okay? Natural gas, I believe, is about 40% of the fuel used for electricity, okay? So everybody's electricity bill has gone up because natural gas, I believe, is the #1 source of fuel for electricity around the US. But you can see here, this is a one-year chart. This is a one-year chart. Look at how the fluctuations of this has been. We started the year a year ago, December 29th, 2021, at $3.85 per unit, okay, last year. Then it went all the way up to $9.29. So it went from less than $4 to almost $10. So it went from $4 to over $9. That's over doubling. And then it went up again to, almost $10. But then it dropped all the way down. So you can see how much it's gone up here. So remember, it started last year at $3.85, $3.50, okay? We'll say $3.50, okay? And then just recently here was at $7 just on December 13th. Now it's fallen all the way down to $4.41. $4.41. So you can see how much this can change literally in a week's time. So I want to show you that because this affects your electricity bill and if you use natural gas to heat your home. Very, very significant. Now, this is one of the areas where you can feel it in your pocket. This is one of the areas where inflation will really matter. Your electricity bill, your gas bill, gas at the pump, and food. The problem is we haven't seen food go down at all. You guys can let me know your thoughts on that. And that's a harder one to control because all these independent food makers, I don't really think that they're going to lower their costs very much or at all. I feel like that's going to be the new norm. We could see transportation costs come down, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that one either. We'll see. I mean, again, gas fluctuates, and again, long term, how will gas stay low long term? We'll see. You know, gas just tends to go up over time. I remember when I was in high school, gas was less than $1, but now look at. I mean, yeah, it's in the $3-ish range. You know, below $3 for some states, but long term, I mean, I think we all know gas is going to continue to go up. So I'll keep you up to date here. Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. If you haven't yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on new videos that come out here on our YouTube channel at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in every day at those times for new videos, and I will keep you up to date. Click the bell icon after you subscribe so you get notifications when we go live. And also, thanks so much for liking and sharing these videos. You can click here to watch my newest video next. And also you can click here to see new $13 billion plus going out to Americans and also $900 checks. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.